Dan Moskal here, and we're talking about how to write a book and specifically improving your writing. And we're going to talk about 3 real good ways, and of course the first is actually doing it. We learn by doing. So the more you write, it is some common sense, the better you're going to get. Just as if you were playing football or basketball or playing the clarinet, that's just what happens. That is about some habit. Some people, I'm sure you've heard Stephen King say, write for an hour and a half, and after 10 years you'll be a great writer. Well, you can be a good enough writer way before that. And the fact is, you've probably been writing since grade school or middle school or elementary school. That's the only way you master and become good at doing anything. And you can certainly write your name and a couple sentences and a couple words. Don't get overloaded with this proper structure. I think it was Anne Brand said, though, the way you write is the way you talk, and that's really what you want to do. You might want to dictate it. I don't really recommend that. I honestly base my decisions usually on how my carpal tunnel's feeling, and the optimal ideas. With the Mac, you can do a better dictate version. As of 2014, they did an update, but it'll let you dictate, and it'll actually type up the words pretty quickly. And then when I actually do the final draft and editing, I go through with my hands, just because there is some weird things in the way we learn and the way we interpret information. The other thing is actually, like we talked in the last step here, in case it's the first video you're checking, this is part of a series of bonus videos as a free gift for my 8th book, How to Write a Book, The System. And if you've missed some of the earlier steps, we'll leave some links in the description below for some of those other videos and steps. But have an outline, have some sort of plan, even if it's just a couple words. You don't have to spend much time with it, but we'd like to break it down into chapters and then just have a couple, 3 or 4 kind of ideas, central points you want to hit on. It's kind of like a storyboard for a movie, each scene has a little sequence, and I think it's 5 stories represent every movie that's ever been created. They're just all little variations of that. I'm sure somebody out there is familiar with that. I think it's like 5 or 6 central stories that every movie has used. So the last 2 things we're going to point out: you're writing to one person. Even if you have 50,000 people that buy your book, there's only one reader that's going to consume it at a time. There's only one person that's reading, so you can say you, just like you're watching this. And that brings us around to the last point here. That's copywriting, persuasive writing. Maybe take some cool classes, but do study, and especially some of the fictional, because we're storytelling, even when you're teaching. And do study some of the fictional books. Study, John Grisham, Stephen King. Study the books within your genre. Study all the good books, borrow some of the things you like and combine them with some of the stuff that you're already doing. Make it your own, you see what works, you borrow some of the things you like, even like the Bible. I'll write in some biblical terms, I'll say things are the forsaken path, or the heathens believe money goes to need, or, just make it a little bit more exciting than simply saying, I don't know, bland, boring, whatever. Try and be concise, try and be light, try and be entertaining where and when you can. Maybe inject some stories like we've mentioned, but just keep working on it and keep doing it is probably the best piece of advice. You'll figure it out. That's what we do in life with everything. Every single human being just figures it out. So you've got to just figure it out, or hire some help, as in a good ghostwriter. I would encourage you to make sure they're good at copywriting and have a way to pull out your message. Get your message out there and just kind of do it a little bit better, make it sound a little bit nicer. So we mentioned that, and have a fantastic afternoon. We're going to include some links in the description below to an article at our website. We've got a free report we're giving away, and some of the other videos. Please subscribe and join our congregation. You can find any one of my 9 books now at Amazon, iTunes, Barnes & Noble in the audio book, and looking forward to talking to you again here soon.